Hello, my beautiful people. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Shades of Queen Entertainment, and welcome to my Tea Diaries. As you know, today is ThirsTEA Thursday, so go ahead and grab your cup and come have tea with the Queen Hadassah. That's me. Today we're going to talk about a few things, but before we get into that, I want to let you know that the tea I'm drinking today is by Stash, and it is a peppermint tea. I really like this. It's more like a spearmint peppermint tea. It's really good for headaches as far as like the herbal teas are concerned. The cures for peppermint tea, headache, any kind of aches in your body. And peppermint goes a long way with that, especially when you mix it with a little bit of honey if you're needing to be soothed. For instance, when I don't have my throat coat, I can use peppermint and honey and it still have a similar effect to the throat coat. So coating the throat and healing all that ails it. So that's what peppermint's good for. I love it, especially if my head is throbbing and I can't figure out how to get rid of a headache because I don't take medicine. I'll just sip a cup of peppermint tea. And because that's what's going on today, that's why we're drinking peppermint. And it's so good. So good. So being that it is ThirsTEA Thursday, I'm giving you a little bit of tea on me. Of course, I know you're waiting to hear. I'm in my haven today. The library, where all my magic happens. Growing up as a child, all I did was read, and read some more. Yeah. It's a very powerful tool, knowledge, that is. And so when I have time to myself, I like to come into my haven to just explore new opportunities, new knowledge is what I'm seeking. And I often find it in the randomest of places. I don't typically stick to the same type of books. I like to switch things up a bit. Being a reader is how I became such a great editor. So if you're looking to get any books edited, if you're trying to become a writer and you don't know where to start and you need some help with that, let me know. Give me a call. I'm here for you. I'm your girl. Oh yeah, it's much deeper than the surface. Honey, I am brilliant. Beyond compare. Brilliant. I can help you with that if you're seeking to venture down that road to become an author. I'm here to help you with that, so give me a call. Anyway, that's just a side note. Why we're here today in the library is because my quote for you is Mask Off. It's by Morgan Richard Olivier. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, mask off. In the end, people always have a way of revealing who they are. You just have to give them the space and time to do so. No mask can be worn forever. I'm going to read it one more time. It's called Mask Off. In the end, people always have a way of revealing who they are. You just have to give them the space and time to do so. No mask can be worn forever. Again, that's by Morgan Richard Olivier. I hope I'm saying your name right, sweetie. I do apologize if I'm not, sir. I chose that quote today because I wanted you to get a glimpse of who I am. And not necessarily that I've been wearing a mask or anything like that. I am authentically me every single day, in every room and every space that I walk into. Make no doubt and make no mistake about it. However, there are times where I dim my light, or I shy away, or I shrink into someone that I'm not. And that for me is considered wearing a mask, because that's not who I really am. I'm only doing that to appease or please someone else. Now, why would I want to go and do a thing like that? And why would you? No, never. You don't ever want to shrink or dim your light for anybody. I did that in the past. I won't be doing that anymore, but I did that in the past a lot. And I was unsure of who I was becoming when I would do that. I didn't like that person at all because it wasn't me. And lately, I've been growing more aware of the type of people that step into my life and step into my aura, and the representatives that they seem to bring to the table upon first meeting versus who they show themselves to be shortly after that initial encounter, that initial meeting. And I'm always very cautious to give my energy, my light to everyone right away. However, I shouldn't be, because that's what God has called me to do. But sometimes I'm often hesitant in my fleshliness of it all. I often have this perception about people where I have to just take a step back and observe who it is that I'm dealing with sometimes, because I never truly really know who a person is. I have a representative as well. I have many different sides and many different personality traits that can exhibit likable traits or non-likable traits at any given time, depending on the situation and the circumstances. However, my aura overall is love, period. That's just who I am. I am love, and I am light. However, sometimes I notice myself sending a representative in certain situations. Let me give you an example. If I am in a business setting, I'm going to give you the professional side of me. No, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a representative, but in that moment it probably is, because I'm not actually being my fun-loving, laughable, happy-go-lucky self, because there is a time and a place for everything. And so in those moments, I probably send you the professional side of me, the side that is down to business and about her business, focused, adamant on delivering good work and doing a great job. And that's the type of person that I am on the professional side of things, on the flip side, right? But if you see me outside of work, let's just say I'm hanging out with my coworkers or something like that. If you see me outside of work, and then Hadassah comes back, see, and then you're like, whoa, who's that? She's not the same person. Oh, yes, I am, honey. I am the same person. There's a time and there's a place for everything. Absolutely. But what I really want to talk about today is the people who wear a mask for negative reasons. They wear a mask to conceal their true identity because they're trying to present you with falsities to make you believe or fall for something that isn't true. But really, that's not who they are. They're deceitful. Their intentions are to deceive. That's the type of people that you need to beware of and be wary of when going through this life. I had somebody ask me yesterday, because I was actually talking to them about masks, and that song by Future came on. You know that one, mask off. Tell them mask off. Mask off. Tell them mask off. Now, when we're on set, #SetLife, we remix the song to mask on. You put your mask on. Mask on. Gotta put your mask on because we're working, you see. And Future has inspired us to recreate and remix that song to still make it fun, even when we don't really want to wear those masks while on set. So that was just a little fun side note. But anyway, we were talking about the Future song, Mask Off, and I think that it was funny because she asked me, okay, well, I mean, how do you even know if someone's wearing a mask, especially if you don't really know who they are? How do you know if they're wearing a mask off gate, like in the beginning? How do you know? Well, I paused for a minute and I'm like, that's a good question. I can't really tell you how you know. But see, some people have a gift of discernment. Others need to be more in tune with that gift and need to search and develop that gift. But that gift of discernment allows you to make judgment without judging. Judgment meaning you're protecting yourself or putting up a guard for whatever reason. I was reading a book as well that I found to be very interesting, where I learned that in relationships, sometimes when you first, getting into a relationship, there's this thing called the honeymoon phase, right? Where everything is just so perfect and peachy keen, and I mean, what could go wrong, right? That's why they call it the honeymoon phase, because you're in that phase of the honeymoon where you're still all wrapped up in love. And then I've heard stories in that same book where months later or years later, all that love is dissipated. Everything's gone. You don't even know or recognize that person anymore. That's not the person that you fell in love with. Who is this person and who am I dealing with? And as a matter of fact, who am I? That's where that mask comes in. I hate to break it to you, but that person wasn't the person that you fell in love with. That was the representative that the person sent you to fall in love with. That'll never work, especially not for me. I know you're thirsty for some tea, but that's all I'm gonna give you. And you can watch me as I go throughout my day today and show you a little bit more about how I spend my ThirsTEA Thursdays. One being in writing. And so you can watch me as I do this. I don't want to put the camera all the way down there because I don't want you to see what I'm writing, but I'll let you see exactly how I spend my time in my haven on certain days.